welcome back to my channel. This week's video is going to be a Q&A. I told you guys I was going to do questions that I usually avoid or I don't really talk about or I haven't answered before. There are so many good ones. I might actually do a part 2 of this because I screenshotted so many, so depending on how long this video gets, there might be a part 2. Let me know if you guys want to see that. There are so many questions and they are typically ones that I don't usually answer, so I'm excited to go ahead and get on into this video. So the first one, because there's a million questions always about baby number 2, says, are you looking to get pregnant soon? We are not trying to get pregnant. That was another question, is are we trying right now? Do we want another baby soon? I don't really plan to get pregnant this year. I think that next year we'll get pregnant and have a baby, hopefully. I have been really baby hungry lately since Cove is getting so big now, but I'm not actually looking to like get pregnant soon, so no. Next question, there was a few of these ones. Do you regret getting married so young? I definitely don't regret it, of course, with the way that my life has like played out. I'm very happy, but I do think Parker and I were way too young to get married. I think anybody that's 19 is way too young to get married. I was 19, Parker was 20. Our 5-year anniversary is actually in October. Of course, I don't regret anything, but looking back, I'm just like, oh my gosh, we were little kids. I've said this before, but I would have been fine with living together before we got married and like waiting a little bit longer to get married, but Parker did not want to live together before marriage, so no, I don't regret it, but we were so young. Next question, I definitely have answered before, but a lot of people ask this one, and it's, did you wait until marriage? And no, we did not. People also ask if our parents knew that we didn't wait until marriage, and my mom definitely did. I'm sure my dad did. I'm sure Parker's parents did. I haven't like specifically talked about that with them. I don't know. I know a lot of people do wait until marriage, usually more like religious people, but we did not. And I'm like pretty sure that all 4 of our parents knew. I know at least my mom did. Next question says, do you want to live somewhere else? And I don't know if they were talking about our house specifically or in like a different city or state. And I've actually been thinking lately that I would love to live somewhere else. Like if my family was willing to all like relocate, like my mom and my best friend, I would totally be happy to move. Literally, I want to move to Australia. It looks so beautiful there, but I just can't see myself ever moving out of state because if I didn't have my family and friends, I feel like I would be really lonely. Like even with just my own family, like Parker and Cove and Luma, none of us would enjoy living somewhere where we don't know like a single person. So I don't really see us ever moving to a different state, but if my whole family agreed to move, then I totally would love to move. Like we do like it here. Parker likes it more than me because he does more outdoor stuff, but for me, there are so many places I would rather live, and I really wish my family would also move because I would totally love to live somewhere else. Okay, this is one of the top questions, and I have not answered. I'm like 99% sure because it is definitely super personal, but I always see people who have a baby talking about this, and it's how is, you guys know I keep my channel PG, sex after giving birth. I always get asked this question and I never answer it because it is super personal, but it's definitely, I don't even know what to say, especially like at the beginning. If you don't know, you're supposed to wait 6 weeks after you have a baby so that everything can kind of like heal. So you are supposed to wait. We actually waited longer than 6 weeks. I don't remember exactly how long, but I tore really bad. I think they were only 2nd-degree tears, but I had like 3 of them, I think, and they were like internal, so it was so painful for a long time. I don't want to like scare anyone because it seems so scary, but it's worth it for your baby, but it is definitely really painful the first like few times. But I've also talked to people who said that it was like not different for them at all, so I think it's different for everybody. Next question, how do you deal with family buying Cove clothes that aren't your style? My family actually doesn't really buy her clothes. Like they don't randomly just give her clothes and toys or stuff, and I think they all kind of know that I am more specific with like what I like her to wear or even just the style of toys that she likes to play with. Her birthday's coming up actually, and I've sent like our immediate family and stuff exact links of what to get her because I do like her to play with more like Montessori inspired or Montessori style toys, which is like wooden toys or basically anything that doesn't have batteries in it. I don't really like her to play with like flashing battery toys that don't require you to actually like be creative or like do anything. I would rather have her play with something like blocks or something that you can kind of like be more creative. I feel like my family knows that I am pretty like specific with stuff. I feel like it just makes it easier for them because they don't have to like like trying to be thinking of what gift to get. They were just like, oh, Aspyn sent me this exact link. This is what she would like for Cove. Yesterday we sent Parker's mom a link. She's getting Cove a little like set of magnetic animals so she can learn her animals. Yeah, for the most part, we haven't really had anything that anybody's given us that I really don't want Cove to play with. I don't care as much about clothes, but like toys and stuff. I just don't want them to spend their money on something that I don't want her to play with, like a battery toy. If anyone else has like that issue, you just have to like be straightforward and just like tell them. I don't really think it's rude. It's just like the way that you go about it. You just need to like be nice and make sure that you like explain how you feel. Next question, what are things that you and Parker fight about? Usually if we are arguing about something, it has to do with work. We just work very different, and I think most of you guys know Parker and I do work together. We both do like YouTube and everything full time, so we are both home full time. I'm just a lot more like type A personality. Parker is a lot more chill and relaxed, so sometimes I want stuff done like in a certain order by a certain time or whatever, and he does not. Usually it has to do with work stuff because it is hard to work with your spouse. And I feel like that kind of goes along with the next question, which is what do people criticize you on the most? And I actually had to think because I don't know. I feel like if anything, I'll see comments that are like, oh, she's so bossy to Parker, and I'm like, it's true. I don't know what else to say about it. It is true. Next question, did you deal with your parents' divorce as a kid or a teen? I think I was like 19 when they got divorced, maybe even 20, so I was an adult. It was better for me and like a little bit easier for me, obviously, because I didn't live at home, so I wasn't like in the middle of everything at home. Obviously it would be like harder for my siblings who were at home, but I was older, so it was like a little bit easier. Do you think in the future, if you have more kids, would you try to deliver without an epidural? I'm like pretty sure the answer is no. My birth was just so relaxing and peaceful and amazing and not painful at all. I only had a few contractions right before I got the epidural that were like really crappy, but honestly, even it hasn't even been a year since I had my baby, and I feel like you forget. I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad, like the contractions weren't that bad, but I definitely remember that the ones right before my epidural kicked in, it did suck. I know you can have a lot of side effects and stuff from an epidural, but I haven't had any, luckily, and my birth was such a good experience that I definitely would love to have an epidural for all of my kids. Next question, I think we've answered this before. I don't really have that much to say about it, but it's why don't you and Parker drink? We don't really drink alcohol. We never really have, and we just don't. Like, we don't really think that's like fun. I don't know. That's just it. Like, we just don't do that, and I'm glad that we both don't do that because I feel like that's such a big thing in so many people's lives. If we were on like opposite ends about that, then that would be like a big problem, but we are on the same page, and I don't really have an answer besides we just like don't do that. The next question I thought was kind of interesting, and it says, why don't you ever talk about the drama going on in the YouTube community? I'm not a person who would ever do that. Even if it was about somebody that I knew that was like a really good friend of mine, I would never ever publicly speak or talk about my opinion with anything to do with like someone's drama. I don't understand why anyone does. I always think it's really ridiculous when I see people like popping in their 2 cents when it has nothing to do with them. I don't know, that's just how I feel. I would never like publicly be like, oh, this is my stance on like so-and-so and so-and-so's drama. Like, I'm on this side. I think that is so ridiculous, and I would never do that. Next question, I don't think I've answered before. I can't remember for sure, but it's, did it bother you that Cove's name was leaked before you announced it? So I don't remember if I've told this story, but we had a lactation nurse come when Cove was like a day or 2 old. She was like kind of having a little bit of trouble latching, and she was so sweet. She's from Lactation Link, which is the breastfeeding class that we did, and she asked us, she was like, oh, I have a little Instagram where I like tell the stories of the different families that I help. I'd love to take your picture and share it. And we were like, totally great, awesome, do it. And I forgot to tell her that we hadn't announced Cove's name yet because we just like took a couple days to post it. So she posted it, and it was so sad because people like freaked out at her. She had no idea that we hadn't announced the name. She just like posted it and didn't even think twice, which I don't even know how they found her, but they started like freaking out at her, and they were like trying to be on my side of like, why would you post that when she hasn't posted it? Like, that's her thing to share. But I gave her permission to post. I just hadn't thought to say like, oh wait, we haven't shared her name yet, so can you wait a few days or like not mention her name or whatever. So she texted me and she was like, I'm so sorry, oh my gosh, I didn't know. And I was like, it is totally fine, it's not a big deal, it's not some like huge secret. The reason we hadn't said her name yet was because we had a birth vlog and then we had a name reveal vlog, so we just like took a few days to like separate those videos. So it wasn't like a huge secret or anything. Like, if anyone texted me and was like, what's your baby's name, I would tell them. It didn't bother me that her name was leaked before we announced it. What bothered me was the way people acted towards the nurse when she didn't do anything wrong. So I thought that was really sad, even though I get people were trying to just like make sure that I was okay about it. I don't know, but it did not bother me because she did not mean to. Next question, are you still gonna post on your main YouTube channel? I think they asked this because I haven't haven't been posting as much. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but with the baby and with a vlog channel and all the things we have going on, this channel definitely has been on the back burner. I wish I could say that was gonna change, but I can't promise that. I've had this channel for almost 10 years. It's my 10-year anniversary next month, and I love this channel, but usually we put the vlog channel as first priority. I don't know why, but we just like always post 2 times a week on there, pretty much every single week. And I also have like my clothing store and different campaigns that we do, and like Instagram and all that stuff. And I also have a baby. That's the main reason why I don't post once a week anymore. Even once a week, as little as that sounds, sometimes I just don't have time, and I definitely prioritize like being a mom to Cove. So I am still gonna be posting on this channel just whenever it kind of like makes sense for me, hopefully still regularly. I don't know, it's also hard on this channel, I'm sure I've said this before, but I have a vlog channel where I show like so much of the things that we're doing, and then on this channel I'm like, I don't know what to even post. Like, it's so hard. If I didn't have a vlog channel, I would have so many more things to share on here. I have some other ideas and stuff written down, especially to do something that's like a bigger production with the baby and with the other videos we make and the other stuff. It is a lot. So I'm still posting on here, just not once a week anymore. Next question, I don't think I've ever talked about this either. It says, how much money do you make off of Luca and Gray, which is my online clothing store? This outfit is actually from there. I just got it and it's so comfy. I love it. But I actually have never taken a paycheck from Luca and Gray. Everything that's made, we obviously pay like our employees and expenses and everything, but then I don't actually take any money, so anything that I would have been paid is just going back into the business. Is Cove ever going to eat non-vegan foods? I had a million questions, which I've answered this a million times, so it's not necessarily something that I avoid, but it is like one of the top questions is about Cove, if she's vegan, whatever. I am not vegan. Cove is not vegan. She had some eggs for breakfast this morning. She does eat mostly vegan foods because that is what I eat, and I always see people being like, oh, how can you make that choice for her? You're also making a choice for them if they eat meat. Either way, you're making a choice for your kid. She is vegetarian. I haven't fed her meat. I'm not going to. If she gets older and wants to try it, of course she can, but my rule for her is that I don't feed her anything that I wouldn't eat. For now, she does not eat meat, and she doesn't usually have dairy. Sometimes she will, because I do sometimes, but for the most part, she does eat mostly vegan, but she's not a vegan baby. She had eggs today. This is getting kind of long, so I think this is going to be my last question, but let me know if you guys want a part 2, because I still have a bunch of questions that I screenshotted, and I know there's other ones that I haven't even screenshotted yet, so let me know if you guys want to see part 2. I love videos like this where I just get to sit and hang out with you guys, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.